Hello, lover. Veronica Love here, and I want to talk about female orgasm and why we fake it. So, you may think to yourself that it's a bit silly to fake it. I mean, we're missing out, right? Now, there's a lot of reasons why women in general fake orgasms, but I'm going to specifically talk about why escorts fake it and why I'm not going to. Okay. The main reason I'm not going to fake it is because I am really passionate about sexual education. And if I fake it, what's going to happen is you're going to have all the wrong information about how to get a woman off. Yeah? Not only will you have the wrong information, but you will also have really unrealistic expectations on what it takes to get a woman off. And let me tell you, it is not an easy task. I have gone down on women, and it is hard work. Props to you, men, for what you do. Really, it is. It's quite a bit easier for us, I must say. Um, the vagina is a complex instrument. It's in some ways a very sensitive instrument. In other ways, it can actually take quite a lot. Um, there's a whole world in there. You know, we don't really think about it. You just kind of people tend to just be like it's a hole. But there's a whole lot going on there. There's nerve endings. There's the cervix at the very top. There's the G spot. Um, there's certain walls that aren't very sensitive to pleasure at all. There are other areas that are actually quite easily excitable. So it's a really good idea to learn about the vagina. And the other thing about it is that um, a vast majority of women really struggle to have vaginal orgasms. There are women in their 30s and 40s that, it's happened maybe a handful of times in their life, and it's been like a fluke. Yeah, most women, a lot of women have clitoral orgasms, and there are some women that, again, like in their 30s and 40s, have never had an orgasm. There's actually apparently there was a belief at one point in the medical industry that 20% of women were just non-orgasmic, which is I think not at all true. But um, it's because there are a lot of women who haven't been able to bring on orgasm or experience orgasm at all. So the other thing that a lot of men don't know, and even a lot of women don't know, is that because it's so sensitive, the vagina actually stores a lot of pain in there and trauma. A lot of pain and trauma is stored in the vagina. I mean, we store pain and trauma in our bodies. We have areas in our bodies that are blocked with energy. Our energy doesn't flow. There's grief. There's stress, and as a survival mechanism, our bodies sort of just shut down in that area, and yeah, we've lost that beautiful natural flow. Now that definitely happens in the vagina, and what this can lead to is numbness. So one of the reasons why women in the sex industry fake orgasm is because they are incapable of having an orgasm, and there is so much pressure for them to have one for you, you know? Also because there are these really ridiculous expectations for a woman to come on demand. Unfortunately, there's no button, you know, you can't just like press my nose and orgasm, or even like press my clit and orgasm. You know, it just there's this pressure and expectation to come on demand, and then there's also a really strong desire to please from the working girl. You know, she wants you to be happy, um, and and therefore, you know, if you we know we know on a very deep level that your ego needs us to have an orgasm, because you think that if we don't have an orgasm, then we haven't had a full experience and you haven't done your job, you haven't pleased us. I would like to share something with you, dispel that myth, because I don't know about other women, but I know for myself, I can experience a world of pleasure and be highly sexually satisfied without having an orgasm, for starters. Secondly, um, particularly when a woman, say, works in a brothel or an agency, she may have already had an orgasm and she doesn't really want to have another one. Her body's tired, her body's just, you know, it's just in a non-sexual space at the moment, because we are so sensitive, you know, and it's the same with men. There are many times when our body's just not ready for orgasm. It's just not in the mood for orgasm. It doesn't mean we're not in the mood for sex, um, but that's just not where our body's at. The other reason is it's hard to really surrender into orgasm when you're not feeling 100% safe. And it doesn't mean that you're not really lovely and you're not making the woman feel really comfortable, but it is, orgasm is a surrender. And maybe it's just a little bit harder for a woman to surrender when she is, you know, not emotionally connected. Yeah, so that is certainly something else to consider. And there was something else that I wanted to share with you about that. Um, it'll come back to me. But I guess what I wanna reiterate is, um, if you really want to be a rock star in bed, it is not just about the fucking and the orgasms. It really isn't. Um, it is about so much more for us women. We don't want what is being portrayed in porn. Sometimes we do, not all the time, and possibly not on a first encounter with someone. Um, you know, you might want to learn about us, like really learn about us and what makes us tick and what really opens us up to the point where we're just, you know, we're able to have genuine, deep, fulfilling, freaking multiple orgasms, where we're able to get to that point of female ejaculation. It's possible, but it may take time, and it may not be possible with every woman, because, like I said, some women just don't know their bodies enough, or they may have experienced trauma. That's another really big one that renders it really difficult to have orgasm. So, yeah, like, I just wanted to say that because I know that there are a lot of fake orgasms going on, and you know, we might be able to turn that around with a bit of patience and a bit of curiosity, um, and just kind of putting the ego out of the way and finding out what's actually there. Okay, that's it for today. Happy lovemaking. Veronica, over and out.